college can be incredibly taxing on your mental health. And I've talked about it before, and I thought that this time I would actually discuss some of the ways that you can get help in college if you're dealing with mental health. So final season just wrapped up, and I was thinking about this during finals, which is a lot of students start to feel a lot of stress during this time because there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of deadlines, and finals are just stressful in general. And with that stress, mental health becomes very significant, and a lot of times, especially even myself, you don't know where to turn to go talk to someone about how to get help or who to talk to and where to start. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about the different resources that are available at UC Davis and most colleges in general for people that are dealing with mental health or anxiety or just, having a very stressful college day. So one of the first things I'd recommend is going to the Student Health and Counseling Services and setting up an appointment. And if you're worried about them not having an appointment right away, you can always drop into their emergency appointment hours. And I recommend that, especially if you're in a crisis. However, if you just know that you should start seeing someone because of mental health reasons, you can set up an appointment with one of their registered counselors, and you can start getting some help for a period of time. Now, there are some drawbacks of going through the UC Davis Student Health and Counseling Services, and one of them is that sometimes they're super overwhelmed with students, and this has become a reoccurring thing at all universities. Students that are dealing with mental health has increased exponentially in the last couple of years on college campuses. And it's kind of made this backlog of having not enough staff to students that actually need help. This is an option, and I tried this option and it didn't work out for me just because they didn't have an appointment that was close enough for when I wanted to meet with someone. So I went to the next option, which is you can go search for a provider outside of the school. Searching for a provider outside the school can be scary, but the Student Health and Counseling Services will help you actually find one of those outside providers. You can make an appointment and they will work with you to see which kind of medical insurance you have and which providers will take that medical insurance and help you start seeing someone as soon as possible. So depending on where you are and what kind of city you're in, it might be harder to find someone. In Davis, there aren't as many counselors as there are in somewhere like Berkeley or San Francisco. So it took me a few phone calls to actually find someone that had availability for me and that worked in my schedule. And I encourage you not to get discouraged because it's really important to find someone that is going to work for you and that you start seeing someone if you feel that's going to be a really good route for you to get help. There are websites online that can help you look at lists of counselors or therapists in your area. And you can also call your medical insurance provider and ask them for a list of therapists or counselors that are in your area as well, and they can send you a list of providers that are actually in your medical insurance's network. So there is another option if trying to meet in person doesn't work in your schedule, and this could be if you're incredibly busy or you just don't have a mode of transportation that's reliable. And if that's the case, there is online counseling that's available, and through the university, you can actually get it for free. One of these sites is called Live Health Online, and you can set up an account and you can start meeting with a counselor or therapist that is a professional therapist, and you can schedule an appointment like you would in real life, and you can have regular meetings with the same therapist to discuss anything that's going on in your life. Now, I personally didn't want to go this route, and it isn't because that this isn't a good route to take. I personally was having some anxiety from being on computers and being on screens, and I didn't want to actually have to interface with someone and worry about the communication and worry about the notifications of trying to meet with someone online. So depending on what kind of person you are, this actually might be a better solution. And I've known that a lot of people recommend this, and it works really well because you can kind of have a schedule that works for you and not as much for the therapist or counselor that you're seeing. And you can do it from the comfort of your own home, which a lot of people feel is really great. And that was also another reason that it wasn't a great option for me. Part of my anxiety had to do with getting outside of my house. And for me, it really helped to force me to actually have to leave my house to go to my therapist and talk about my problems there instead of in my house where I felt very comfortable and safe, but I wasn't really pushing myself to get out. So if you're dealing with mental health, a lot of times it can be hard to confront the idea that you should go talk to someone or that you need to go talk to a professional. Sometimes it's seen as a sign of weakness, sometimes it's a sign of you have a problem and you're actually confronting that problem. And I know that you might think that, oh, I can just do this on my own, or it's just a phase, I'll get through it. And even if it is just a short time period that you're struggling, it can be worth going and talking to a professional about what is happening. And I really do recommend using therapy or counseling to help work through these problems, especially if they're new and you haven't experienced mental health anxiety, panic attacks, or anything like that before, because this is an important thing to confront and deal with. And just letting it sit inside of you and fester isn't healthy for you, and it's not going to create a good, positive environment for yourself, especially in college. Thank you again for taking the time to listen to me talk about mental health. I do think this is an important topic. I will continue talking about this as much as I can. If you guys have ideas about things that I should discuss, let me know in the comments below. Again, remember, you're not alone in this kind of struggle. There are other people out there that are going through the same kind of struggles, and there are medical professionals out there that want to help you, and it's not something to take lightly. Again, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share this with people. If you know someone that might be going through something and you want them to just hear it from someone else, feel free to tell them to watch this video. And as always, don't forget to be awesome.